Hi, my name is Andy. I'm currently based in Singapore. Like most of you, we are all stuck. There are travel bans and so forth. So I'm more known in the market as an early adopter in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Started to my own blockchain company in 2017, and then fast forward to this current stage. I am the advisory board member for Hyundai DAC. Hyundai, as you know, is a very big South Korean brand, and DAC is the blockchain arm for this multinational. So apart from that, I give advice to governments. I was also involved in some legislation bill of cryptocurrencies. I'm also the only blockchain advisor with the Asian Productivity Organization that is based in Japan. And that organization itself also look at innovation, technology, and so forth. And through that, I got to know many other governments and also many other corporations that are in the Asia market. So today my topic will be a bit more practical, giving you an overview on the regulations for cryptocurrency globally for 2021 and beyond. I will also touch a fair bit on the commercial adoption and implementation aspects of things. And last but not least, I will look at the education part of things, the awareness, and also the thought leadership behind what we are trying to do as an industry as a whole, and also a bit of the trends that are coming up, in my own humble opinion, for 2021. So let us begin by sharing some rather positive headline that we have seen, so far. Highlighting on a few, one of which will be the investment banking giant JPMorgan, who came out with their first commercial transaction with their own cryptocurrency, JPM Coin. That is more from an investment banking giant perspective. We all know that today PayPal has gone live, allowing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency spending for the US market. Then, of course, Twitter CEO Jack, he bought 50 million in Bitcoin. You see, all these are very, very positive sign that the institutional investors or the more serious institutions are taking on the Bitcoin or taking up more faith in the cryptocurrency. A few other things that I have in mind is that is less widely talked about is a MODE, MODE. They allocated about 10% of their cash reserve to buy Bitcoin and adopted that also as part of their treasury reserve asset. They are a listed company, just to let you know. And then in Singapore, while I'm in Singapore, I saw quite a few posts as well, where our Singapore bank DBS posted up perhaps a dummy site or a preview site where they are planning to launch their digital asset exchange platform, and that is another clue for bigger companies or bigger banks to look at digital asset, look at cryptocurrency, so forth and so on. Not so much of a central bank digital currency, but real cryptocurrency form of trading and so forth. And again, when we look at the market itself, 22 other banks and bank branches in India also started to offer their crypto banking services, I think last month. And last but not least, another good headline that we all know about will be Alibaba founder Jack Ma talk about digital currency are the future. So you can see that the positive signs are all coming up. Why is this so? It is very much also because of there are more and more good people in the industry pushing the cryptocurrency agenda across. Governments are slowly and surely accepting the concept of cryptocurrency and how that is going to work for their money, for their whole fiat. And of course, these are the good stuff. But if you look at it deeper from a news perspective and so forth, we have the not so positive ones as well, like the BMX founder got arrested for violation of US AML laws. China as well. The OKEX, which is one of the largest exchange in the world, they has literally stopped all the withdrawal, after the founder was arrested, probably a month or so ago. And then again, the not so good stuff, which is about $150 million worth of tokens were being hacked away in KuCoin exchange and so forth. But is this really not positive? Because in our talk with different governments and regulators, they often brought up the point about the negative portion of things, right? So for me, if you look at the examples that I've quoted in this earlier introduction, I think it is more positive than negative. And then secondly, I think our industry is taking its shape. Regulators are catching up, and investors are more aware of what they are investing. So in a nutshell, I dare say that we are somewhat in the mainstream already. You look at the things that are being talked about, the things that is being published on the news, and also because of the acceptance from the government, things are slightly more rosy and so forth. And then if you look at the government attitude towards cryptocurrency, a couple of surveyed countries, and also some of which that I work with personally, they categorize cryptocurrency differently for tax purposes. Some of them they look at it as a form of security. So things are moving on fairly well. Just quoting examples right now, like Israel, they treat it as taxed as an asset. Bulgaria taxed it as a financial asset. Switzerland taxed it as a foreign currency. Argentina, Spain, they look at it more like subjected to some form of income tax. So things are putting in place, and corporations are also trying their way to get themselves to a more reasonable state where they are regulated and they are proper. So, example, my phone call with UK regulators last month. They talk about corporations got to pay tax, corporate tax, uncorporated business also got to pay a form of income tax, and individual got to pay the capital gain tax. So these are some of the take-home messages that is given to me by regulators, that they are very ready on how to cope with this big giant. So coming back to places like Singapore, where I'm at now, we started to recognize cryptocurrency in 2017. A lot of companies are also resided in Singapore. Whether they are a shell company or really operating here, we do see a lot of them in Singapore. And the Payment Services Act, in short, PSA in Singapore, came into effect on January 28, 2020, if I'm not wrong, stating that the cryptocurrency business must obtain this license from MAS and also fully comply to AML CFT regulations in order for them to operate and start their transfer of cryptocurrency in Singapore and outside of Singapore. So such an act is a very forward-looking and a very forward-looking statement for us. And like you have mentioned, we from a Singapore perspective, also started other public consultations on other crypto bills to be passed on. Similarly, in places in Asia, you see very similar model that is being set forth. So having said so, I must say that again, we as a practitioner, we as a certain voice for cryptocurrency, we got to remember the rules behind this. Companies also got to remember the rules. I always like to say this, we have to follow the rules that are being set, and then we are safe. We just have to be upfront and open when you are dealing with unclear grounds, when we are dealing with regulators on cryptocurrency bills. And again, the cryptocurrency space have been shifting and changing very fast. Experts should also find channels to update government of their latest development like DeFi, AMM, PMM, and to keep them informed of what are the latest scams even, or even Ponzi-like schemes that are in the market. So all these are proper education and awareness that must be told to the people and also told to the government, regulators, how the whole situation is like, and also help them to find ways to avoid getting themselves into all sorts of different fraud. By doing so, again, at this very beginning stage, the governments and also together with the bigger businesses will help to accelerate the kind of work that we have. So leading exchanges like Binance, are always giving free lessons to share how is the industry like, what is it about right now, and we should always look at credible sources and channel, and take good reference from there and share the right kind of thinking, with your communities and so forth. I would also like to emphasize on a few things that I got from regulators as a form of feedback. They are looking at this a kind of a formalized think tank that it could be blockchain based, it could be cryptocurrency centric kind of a think tank that it could be accredited to the government. It is a voice for the government and so forth. Regulators are constantly looking at such think tanks to help enhance and upgrade their knowledge. So, so coming back again to the government portion of things, I must say that from a cryptocurrency standpoint or from a more blockchain technology perspective, the core areas that governments are always looking at are finance, supply chain, and some of which they are looking at some medical related solutions that we as a technology provider can help. So if you look at this, governments are very open. Maybe just another example. Just I think 2 days ago or yesterday, the world's second largest bank, which is China Construction Bank, has tapped on a Malaysia-based digital asset exchange, Fusang, for the insurance of 3 billion worth of debt security over a blockchain. I think that also tell us that this whole environment is changing, and this brought me to the next topic that I want to share on my end, is that the attitude from different companies, whether they are big companies, small companies, so forth. We need to have a very positive outlook in some of the things that we are trying to share from a commercial perspective. So the other topic that I want to touch on will be on commercialization. So right now, I also heard a different panel talk about STO, talk about different service provider like marketing company, how they put forth their services about blockchain and how they help the industry. I think those are good effort that is in the market right now. But I just want to emphasize on a few things about commercialization when we come to really getting the work done. You see a lot of us right now at this current moment, we are still talking about use cases, we are still talking about test pilot trial and so forth. To me, I think those things are very much 2019. I would hope that service provider to be more clear and more precise in terms of their price, technology, and so forth, so that you could actually get more buy-in from bigger companies to use your service. Right now, it's no longer about trial. If you are looking at commercialization and getting the right kind of revenue. So you got to have very clear incentive to stakeholders and partners to drive the ROI in individual blockchain solutions. and potentially create additional revenue stream and cost saving opportunities for your client and also for the government. The commercial potential of the blockchain use cases also needs to be tightened, and also working towards a more enterprise solution where you give your clients a sense of a certainty in the longer term. We also have to look at more integrative approach where blockchain can again scale and proper blockchain company can form a certain standardization or SOP for your clients. So I know I'll just spend one more minute on sharing some of the trends that I see in 2021. First trend I will see there will be a new introduction of things like prop trading, social trading, copy trading. I think that would go very well in 2021. As the market for STO gets a fair bit more mature, I hope in the third or fourth quarter for 2021, STO can be the new talking point. And the fourth thing that I want to share would be DeFi. Hopefully by mid of next year, things can be more standardized, and of course, a more reasonable interest can be adopted. And the last trend that I do see is that there are a fair bit of Lotto-related businesses that are getting into the blockchain and crypto market business. I'm talking about the more legalized one. And I do see that that Lotto business and also the crypto business can work hand in hand with what we do see in 2021. Last but not least, maybe a quick quote for me is that something for Bitcoin. I do see that it is possible, for all the current bull market to go even better, But for me, I do have a bit of reservation on how Bitcoin is going to grow, because I personally do think that there is a room for Bitcoin to grow up to 100,000 even. But once this starts, it will definitely affect governmental monetary policies and also fiscal policy. You will see a whole different reaction. So for me personally, I felt that the pumping or the increase in prices for the leading Bitcoin should stay at a certain constant rate and do not go beyond what is expected, so that we can continue to grow the industry further by providing the right kind of condition and climate. So with that, thank you, thanks so much, and sorry for the technical problem.
That's right. Thank you, Andy, for your speech. I really felt that if you speak about any point that you mentioned about Bitcoin for another 20 minutes or half an hour, if you have a question from the chat, one person is asking, how should an professional, I understand that this is not good professional, understand whether a blockchain project is working in a compliance with the regulation of its
To be real honest about it, I think there's no way and 100% sure that this company is a real company or a not scam company. I think if you look at the startup environment right now, a lot of startups actually start off as a pure complete scam. They do not have a revenue model. So in order for someone to know whether this is a good project or not a good project or it's a scam, I think it boils down to the revenue model that is behind it. A non-professional investor or maybe even not accredited investor, I think they should be very much aware that investing and trading in cryptocurrency is a high risk thing to do. Even if you are now a registered investment advisor, like some of my friends in US, they got themselves scammed as well, because they can be telling you that they are registered in Malta, but actually they are registered in Malaysia or vice versa and so forth. So a lot of these things are still not very transparent. I do hope that some of this discussion and some of these verification or due diligence can be available on the chain, so that things can be checked properly. If you are a multi company, you are one, and you can check it in the database or on chain. Similarly, for whatever reason or whatever entity that you're operating, it has to be of a certain standard. So if you are called ABC company, ABC chain, your token is ABC, your company should also be called ABC. There must be this kind of assurance that we are talking about the same thing. But bear in mind, in this current situation, you see a lot of Chinese company, or even South Korean companies. All this data, they do not match. So there's no way any professionals can know whether it's real or not real, unless the regulation says that everybody got to be registered somewhere on a centralized or on chain kind of a service provider, where all the names can be captured there. Else there will not be anything that is able to assure us of anything, especially when it comes to investments, and very early investments products like a ICO or IEO, or whichever that's going to come next.
Definitely. Thank you for your reply. I hope it really helps. And people can say that sounds cool. And it was a nice speech. It was fun. It was fun learning. And I thought it will help people in the perspective of the world and regulation of moving. And we're ready to welcome our next speaker.
Thank you.